Blocked your phone, you can try, but they always come back running. Yeah, I wish that they still knew me, but always come back running. Yeah, they wish that they still knew me. Always come back running. Yeah, I wish that they still knew me, but always come back running. Yeah, they wish that they still knew me.
Shout out to all my gods and goddesses checking out this video. I am C, the spiritual goddess, here for another Celebrity Starlight Report live. Yes, gods and goddesses, leave me some heart emojis for healing if you are here in the chat checking this out right now. Shout out to everyone that's watching this live and those who's checking out the replay. Today we are doing a reading on Miss Jaguar Wright. For those of you who haven't heard what's been going on, she's been dealing with a lot. She recently got detained, allegedly. She actually had a mental breakdown on live, guys, and I'm sure if you haven't been living under a rock, you probably didn't hear about it. Her son recently went on Sean Davy Way show. Shout out to Sean Davy Way. He did a interview with her son. It was more like a phone call, and her son made some claims stating that she is possibly possessed by the guy you see there in the thumbnail, Solar. He's a part of that whole Carbon Nation Nature Boy cult. Allegedly. Yes, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into that here. Before we get into this reading, a few announcements. First off, shout out to everyone that's been showing me the love. And make sure you guys, if you haven't already, you check out the Ask C I did along with the Tory Lanez video. I will be coming on later on this evening, hopefully for our Rihanna Super Bowl. So make sure you check that out. Also, guys, if you do want to book a reading, I am now having a sale. Yes. So you can, because here, you can get a discount on one of my readings. This reading here, up to 6 questions. Text reading, if you guys want to book that, I'm now taking text readings. If you use the code SKULL40, you can get 40% off now until Wednesday at midnight. So you guys, if you do want to book your reading, this is the time. If you book a text reading, it's going to ask you to book an appointment, but text readings are first come, first serve. There's no appointment needed. When you book that reading, if you book it this week, you should get your readings this week. So make sure you guys take advantage of that, okay? All right, so I asked you guys to leave me some questions. You guys were leaving questions more along like some of her, I guess, conspiracies or things she said, but I really want to focus on her mental health. So before we get into this, I do want to say a prayer for Jaguar Wright. Spirit, I do ask you that you cover her during this time, and that you protect her. We are praying for Jaguar Wright over here, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. This is not going to be a long video. Her son made some claims. Now, what I will say is this. When I was picking up on her energy, I was not getting possessed vibes. Now, what I am getting for Jaguar Wright, and I'll have the cards. I'll have the cards confirm it. Not saying that someone can't be possessed by other, or quote unquote possessed by another entity, and that can't cause mental issues, but honestly, we are really behind when it comes to the mental health, and not just in this country, in the world as it is. A lot of things that we deem as mental health, a lot of times it's just deficiencies, or from the spiritual world, we can't grasp it, so we deem a lot of things with mental health. However, with that being said, guys, mental health is important. I'm picking up with Jaguar. She's been having mental health issues for quite some time. What Spirit is telling me is this happened since she was a child. Now, I'm not familiar on her story, so maybe you guys, if you're in the chat, you can educate me. But what Spirit is saying is, I'm getting someone who may pacify those mental issues with things like substances, or even attention. See, we don't talk about this. Attention can definitely be addictive, and I think with her, she's just wanting to get her voice heard. But I am getting someone who, I wouldn't lie to you guys, if I got possessed, I would tell you. I'm not getting that. I'm just getting someone whose trauma has been built up and it's coming out. Now, what I will say is, though, that doesn't excuse, what's his name? Solar. I do feel like a lot of people surrounding Jag knows that she has these issues, because it is easy to see if you can get out of the conspiracy. Because one thing we do, you know, I love me a good conspiracy. So I'm not gonna sit. And, you know, and another thing here too, a lot of things we call conspiracies end up being true. We'll talk about that in another video. But I do feel like a lot of times, especially in pop culture, especially in our community, we live for a good conspiracy, that sometimes we will run with it, even though the messenger, like, we're not paying attention to the messenger. It's just because it confirms whatever we already believed. And while I do feel like Jaguar, she has a lot of stories to tell, and she does need to get her story out. I do feel like a lot of people neglected or bypass those issues that she was already having. I don't want to say exploit. Some people were exploiting her, but what Spirit is telling me, yeah, I'm getting exploit. I'm getting exploit, and I feel like this is where this guy, is his name Solar? This is where he comes in, and this is where this whole cult, guys. I haven't watched the documentary, but I've been keeping up and looking up. Look up the whole Carbonation and that Nature Boy and all that cult. Yes, they prey on people like this. And I feel like Jaguar was an easy prey, if I have to just be honest with you guys. Let's see. Yeah. She's definitely, though, she is going to recover. My only concern is who's surrounding her during this time. I do, when I was listening to her son on Sean Davy Way, I do feel like he's definitely a son that's concerned, and he definitely has his mom's best interest at heart. But the thing is, and this is just what I feel, you cannot just throw other things at mental health. She needs a healthy outlet. So I hope she's surrounded by people and not by that cult person or anyone else who wants to exploit her. That's what Spirit is saying. All right, let's see. How you guys doing in the chat? Let me know if you're doing okay. Let's see. Shout out to you all that's showing love. Make sure you hit that like. I appreciate all of you that's hitting that like. All right, so let's go ahead. And I did leave a link to Sean Davy Way's interview. Make sure you guys check that out. Show him some love. All right. What is her overall energy right now? And what's triggering this? Child, I wasn't expecting to film in this video. I was just gonna film the Rihanna Super Bowl, but I had to come out. People start talking about possession and stuff. I'm like, hold on, let me see. She is surrounded by support. I don't know, I'm getting the sense Jaguar may feel, though, I'm getting that lack mentality. What I mean by that is because, and I'm not going to assume that she's the breadwinner or anything like that, but I do feel like she brings a substantial amount of income, or she takes care. She's the caregiver. She's the sole caregiver. Sometimes you can be so caught up into caring for others, you're not focused on yourself. I do feel like what Spirit is saying is that kind of motivates her to do these things, or feel like she has to be out there, whether it's doing interviews, whatever it is. I'm not saying people are paying her, but I do feel like this brings attraction, and this does bring her income. Spirit is saying right now they really want her to sit down. I do feel like a lot of this triggering her is coming up from her childhood. I'm getting someone who has a blocked heart chakra. I'm getting someone who, that's why she probably doesn't communicate effectively. I'm not saying that she's not speaking her truth, but what I am saying is it's no rhyme or reason. You get what I mean? Like, you never know someone who, you're just saying things to be saying things, kind of like, what's the purpose? Spirit is saying she needs to really focus on her family. Let me pick up this Solar. What's his intentions? Spirit, what's his intentions? Now, I do agree with the son. He does have scheming intentions. He does give me dark energy. So I do agree with that. And if you're just coming in, welcome. All right, let's see. I hope you guys are feeling good. Positive vibes only. All right, let's see. He wants to make a bag. Honestly, yeah. If you get someone of notoriety, and to him, Jaguar is notoriety, that can help push your agenda forward. It's definitely giving me, yeah. You ever heard of how narcissists isolate you? They'll isolate you or get you away from your family. Look up different cult leaders and different cults, guys. Look up that. He's definitely still going to try to be around. I definitely think that family. Now, even what I will say is they need to put protection up surrounding them, not just on a physical level. They need to make sure they delete his number and everything like that. Make sure he doesn't have any ties, but also do think they need to do something on a spiritual level. I would definitely suggest putting some spiritual protection around. We're going to pray for spiritual protection around this family here, because I do see him working his way back in, and yeah, he can't be trusted at all, child. Ooh, I'm giving a little obsessed vibes. I wouldn't be surprised if he works his way back in, guys, and tries to do his work, not his spell work. I'm definitely getting that. That family needs to watch it. They need to make sure there's no communication at all. They also need to set boundaries with her. There's only so much you can do, though, to have someone or to help someone with their mental health. But I am getting a sense they really do need to watch it. He's definitely up to no good. Oh, yeah. Okay. And mental health is no joke, child. No freaking joke. Alright, let me see. What does the Jaguar ancestors want to tell her in this moment? What do they want to tell her? Her family. Her family. And you know, that's one thing I don't like. Like, there's people out here, they do this in religion, but with spirituality that is already, people fear spirituality, African spirituality, occult already. People who use that for their own personal gain and use that in a negative way. Like, when you're doing this work, like me, you know, we have fun over here and everything, but I am a humble servant to source, to spirit. You get what I'm saying? It's not about ego, and that's not how it should be. Like, you shouldn't be doing this for, you know, having people just follow you and worship you. No, you shouldn't be doing that. And when people do this, it does give people a bad name. It does give spirituality a bad name. You know, especially when you have people who don't understand. The first thing they go to is like, oh, this is possession, or you get what I'm saying? And I don't blame them, even though I'm a free thinker and you know what I'm saying, I'm a spiritualist. I will say I don't blame them, because look at people like this whole carbonation nation, and you get what I'm saying, and all of this. Look at those different cults. Look at those different things. We could talk about a video on cults. There's, I don't know if it's still going on. There was a cult on TikTok where these women was using spirituality, and that's what I just don't like. I don't respect that. I just don't respect that. But yeah, I just had to go on a rant. Let me go ahead and pull. What does Jaguar ancestors want to tell her? Yeah, happiness is in our hearts and in our own homes. Jaguar, this happiness that you be so much trying to long for, or that you be looking for outside of yourself for what you missed in the industry, it's within yourself. It's within your home. Spirit is saying you have to, if I can be honest, get a sense of gratefulness and remind yourself what really matters. You're not going to get what you need from those people outside, for those people cheering on the BS. You get what I'm saying? They have personal gains. And I'm not saying this is everyone. I'm not saying, but I do feel like a lot of people have taken advantage of Jaguar. But I also feel like she's putting herself in a lot of situations. We have to call accountability. You get what I'm saying? She's putting herself in a lot of situations chasing their drug of fame. You get what I mean? So you have to be okay with being in the place that you are in life, and you have to check your intentions. Also, what Spirit is telling me, I got the skull of stars, and in this skull, it's cracked, right? But it says infinite possibilities. I do feel like this mental breakdown that she's had can be flipped eventually, like as this will be the best thing that ever happened to her in the long run. What I mean is it's forcing her to face some truths. Also, this is her testimony, is what Spirit is saying. You know, there is other ways you can be of service to others by sharing your story. You get what I'm saying? By you healing, you heal others. So it's important for you to make sure you heal your mental health first before you can help others. I do feel like she's going to look back on this and use this for her testimony one day. As long as she have good people surrounding her. Also, your ancestors are saying, I'm not going to really get into her deceased son, because I do feel like that you can never, I wouldn't even want to imagine. That's another healing. That's another pain that will probably never heal, but you have to learn to cope. But what I do feel like is you do need to talk about that, and you need to a professional, and you do need to get healing for that, or start to unpack that. I don't know. I'm getting a sense of someone who blames themselves in a way. But know that you are protected. Your ancestors are protecting you. They're covering you during this time. Spirit, what is going to be the outcome of this? Let's leave some prayer hands in the comments, guys, for her. If you're watching this live or the replay, let's leave some prayers there. She definitely needs it. We're going to hear from her again. She's going to be back speaking again. I am definitely seeing that she's being called. Like, this was all divine timing. She's being called to sit for a moment, but I feel like Jaguar is not going to be quiet long. I do feel like she's going to find her joy eventually, guys. Well, she's going to find her joy eventually. Right now, she's just getting grounded. She does need to take a step back, though. I feel like Spirit is calling on her to take a step back to do the work. The only thing is, I would just suggest, if any family is listening to this or anyone who knows her, just really make sure you keep her away from anyone from carbonation, and just be selective. I do feel like now is not a good time for her to really talk like to the public. She really needs to be under protection and under prayer right now. I am getting that. But yeah, guys, that's what I have here for Jaguar. My heart really does go out to her. I really am praying for her, because the mental illness is real, and it's no joke, guys. And that's why we have to, as a whole, people as a whole, we deal with so much, but especially us of color, we have to really make sure we take therapy seriously. There's a lot of generational trauma that we hold. The mind is a fragile thing, so definitely look up resources for mental health. If you guys have this app called ZocDoc, you can actually go on there, put your insurance information, and find therapists in your area. They do like in-person video. I've tried BetterHelp. They are expensive, but they have work. But find what's best for you. And if anyone wants to leave any resources in the chat, please feel free to do so. But yeah, guys and goddesses, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to take advantage of the sale I'm having on the up to 6 questions. You guys definitely can take advantage of that. We are having 40% off, so just use the code SKOL40 for that. I will be back tonight, as long as I don't get too tired, y'all, but I will be back tonight with Rihanna's Super Bowl prediction, so I hope to see you guys there. Until then, all my gods and goddesses, don't forget to always rock your crown. See you in the next video. Peace.